Hey family, how you guys doing? I welcome you to my channel. The Mind is the Altar. If you're new, you're welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe. If you've been watching this channel, well, you know how we do. So I had a paralyzed dream last night, right? I want to dive right into it because I don't have enough time. Man, you know, a paralyzed dream is when you can move. When you're sleeping, you can move. But your body can move, but you're awake. Subconscious mind, everything, your brain is awake, but your body can move. It's like you're all paralyzed and stuff like that. But this is when we experience all this. Some people, they call it ghost, some people they call it dark entity, and you know, the shadow man, or the dark shadows and stuff like that. So well, the thing is, last night, well, this been happening for a long time right now on my paralyzed. I've been having a paralyzed dream. Every time I'm in a state of I'm awake, but I can move my body. It's like my soul is not in my body yet to where I can function. And it's a very terrifying experience. You feel like, you're being attacked. You feel like you can't breathe, and you talk, nobody can hear you. You yelling, nobody can hear you. It's for some of us, if we don't know what to do in this situation, we get to panic, and the more we panic, the more we experience this nightmare. It gets worse. We see dark shadows, ghosts, and you name it. Everybody got different names for it, but I want to talk about dark shadows because I think every time I be having this a paralyzed dream, I've been seeing, like, shadows right around me. Most of us, we experience presence around us. Some of us, they say they feel like somebody's sitting on their chest. It's a very terrifying experience. Again, but like with mine, every time I sit, every time I experience this experience on my side of bed, I always see this black smoke. And then it's always around my bed, and it's always, like it's hovering around. I can feel the presence. It's just so threatening, so strong. The energy is just like, I feel like it will harm me. I always feel like something is about to happen. Either get possessed or, something worse. I can see this dark smoke just around my bed, and then sometimes I hear shattering voice, and then they disappear. And then I'll be screaming, yelling for help, but it's like you're muted into this reality. Like, you feel like you're making noise, but you're not making noise. And sometimes this can go on for like a whole 5 minutes. Sometimes only like 2 minutes. When you like I usually fight my way back up. Like in your subconscious mind, if you put like, oh, I'm gonna be awake, you gotta fight your way back up. And the more you try to be awake, the more I feel presence pushing me down, But mostly I've been seeing this shadow, a dark shadow is formed like a human, and it will disappear in the walls or just be around me. But then I've been, paying attention for a while, since like, I've been having this paralyzed dream. Every time this happens, I study and learn something. What I learned is, like, first of all, this dark shadow, it never really harm me physically. That's number one. And second, I'm like, what if this is all in my mind? And third, I'm like, what can I do to be in control in this situation? And then fourth, I'm like, okay, if this dark shadow is not harming me, it is probably afraid of me. There's probably something within me that's afraid of me. Like, notice demons, ghosts, they never, like physically kill somebody. People say they possess you and stuff like that. But these entities, they're like really, when it comes to dark shadows, they don't want to be seen. Once you see them, they disappear. So I said that, you ever sit there and in the eye of your corner, there's a jacket that it was hanging on your closet, or you're closing a closet, they like kind of look like that you saw a face over there. They form like as a face, and when you look at it, it's like, that's just my clothes, that's just my jacket. See, this dark shadow, or you want to call, some people call them demons, they can manipulate any object so they can show themselves. But when you look, when you straight look, then they disappear. Now I'm thinking, why is this dark shadow around my bed? It just disappeared. You don't want to touch me. You don't want to do anything. It's just scaring me. So then I was like, you know what? I think this is just all about fear. They feed in this fear. They need the fear, the energy. So they need energy, right? And the energy they need is your fear. For some reason, it's very, your fear is very helpful to them. I don't know, whatever it is that they do. So it's like the more you are scared, the more you give power to them, right? So I was like, you know, next time I'm gonna ask really exactly what do you want. So it was just last night I had the same dream, the same dark smoke came around. So I knew that if I talk, nobody will hear me. So I went ahead and asked anyways. I said, what is it that you want? And then again, it didn't say nothing. It just disappeared. And then I was just up, you know, like breathing very hard, looking for water and stuff like that. So I'm kind of got used to it. But then I'm like, these dark shadows, a lot of people have their theory, right? A lot of people, they say, it could be, you know, people who are astral traveling. It could be ghosts. It could be aliens. It could be time travelers, or it could be demons. Nobody really sat with this dark shadow and asked, who are you? And they never give an answer. I haven't seen that yet. Nobody came with the validation evidence. I talked to them. This is who they are. But one thing we know, every time you see these dark shadows, they disappear. Like they don't want to be seen. So that means we are very powerful. There's something that they're scared. There's something that, you know, scared the shit out of them to where they don't want to be seen. So therefore, I started taking control, right? So what I do is right now, every time this dark shadow comes, what I do is, like I said, is ask them. I want everybody to do the same thing. Instead of panicking and, you know, instead of trying to, you know, have a heart attack or, you know, screaming for, you know, a crisis and all that, ask them simply, like, what do you want? Just like if you see a spirit, you'll ask it, what do you want? You know, like, try to ask them, what do you want? And then you'll be surprised how this so scary dark shadow, you know, how he's gonna act, how he's gonna react to that question. Because I think what it's looking for, this is just my opinion, is for you to surrender. And once you said, you know, once you are scared and once you surrender, you open the door. But if you say, what do you want? Right there, you did not open the door. You ask a question. You are asking this entity to identify its purpose, why it showed up around you, what is it want. And then you are showing that you are not afraid of it. So therefore, it will kind of back off, because what it was looking for, it did not get it. I think it's looking for fear. It don't want to explain itself, this dark shadow. But this happens only if I want to experience this. I learn. I put my crystal stones away. This happens only when I don't sleep with my crystal stones. I have a lot of crystal stones. Every time I sleep with them or hold them and fall asleep while I'm meditating with them, I don't never experience this dark shadow. So they're probably looking for a certain energy, certain vibration. Some of these entities, they're probably scared of the energy of crystal stones, certain energy of these crystal stones, right? That's one way for you to do if you're having this kind of experience every night. Use the crystal stones, or say a prayer, ask your guidance, and, you know, and the goddess, you know, to give you the most strongest protection here in this universe. And you can ask your angels. Some of you guys can pray to your God, whoever you believe in order to avoid having this experience. But if you really want to face these dark entities, these dark shadows, simply ask them, what is it that you want? Because it could be, like, you know, it could be somebody who's really astral traveling, that trying to scare you, or it could be somebody who, or it could be a ghost, it could be UFO, or it could be just all in your mind. Whatever it is that you created in your mind, it could be that. Whatever it is that's very scary, or, you know, whatever it is that your dark side in your mind, it could be that you created that, you manifest that while you went to sleep and having this sleep paralysis, sleep paralysis, okay, something like that. Okay, but here's the thing. Uh, so when you are having this experience, you can use crystal stones to avoid it. And one thing else I learned, that if you put a mirror underneath your bed, demons don't like to. They don't like their own reflection. They don't like. What will happen is if they really try to scare you, or be on top of you and scare the crap out of you, they will see their own reflection through the mirror, and then they will kind of like part away. They will leave you alone. So some demons, they don't like really their reflection. They don't like to see their self. So but nobody knows what this dark shadow is. So I was just making a video trying to share my experience about these dark shadows, these dark entities that a lot of people are experiencing. And then we're gonna experience these dark entities right now. A lot of people are like seeing these dark shadows more and more with their physical form, with this today 2019, because the vibrational energy is shifting. So either, I don't know, we're moving to 4D or what, 4 dimension or what, but so our vibration is becoming more higher and higher, and the more our vibration is becoming higher, the more we matching to this entity's vibration. So don't be surprised if you experience this stuff more, and if you see them more during this episode while you sleep or your nightmares. So therefore, and be careful if you're about to summon anything, any spirit. Make sure you ask for protection. Make sure you ask for the right one, because not every spirit that you summon is the spirit that you're looking for. It could be a dark shadow that you just made a portal for it to access in your house. So be safe, and love and light. And don't forget to subscribe. We have a lot to talk about. So yeah.